Britain's migrant crisis isn't some abstract story playing out in Westminster. It's hitting our towns, our streets, and our communities. Take Dover, the gateway to our nation. British families there watch dinghies arrive every day, with hundreds of young men stepping onto the beach as if it's an open door, while the locals struggle to see a GP or find a school place for their own children. Move north to Rotherham, a town already scarred by the grooming gang scandals. Locals there feel abandoned, left wondering whether lessons ever were learned, while new pressures on housing and policing pile up. Look at Bournemouth, one of Britain's most famous seaside resorts. 3 top hotels just yards from the Golden Beaches are now being used to house migrants.
Over the last 3 years, with migrant hotels in Bournemouth, there have been 708 alleged criminal offences, including theft, including assault, and including rape, that have happened in Bournemouth.
Once again, communities built on hard graft are paying the price for government failure.
A snapshot of Britain in the 80s. Beachgoers in the seaside town of Bournemouth. Fast forward to the final days of this summer and the change is undeniable. In the Bournemouth area between the 2011 and 2021 censuses, the non-British-born population went up by 47%.
And in Portsmouth, locals are up in arms after it emerged that asylum seekers are being offered 40% off beach huts. Families who've lived there their entire lives, who've scrimped and saved for just a few days to afford going to the sea, are told to pay the full price, while new arrivals get cut price deals. For many, it seems like classic two-tier Britain. Locals footing the bill while the perks go to the young men who've only just landed. So let's be clear, Britain has always welcomed those in need. But what we are seeing now is not compassion, it's chaos. It's not fairness, it's failure. A system so broken that people who break the rules get rewarded, while law-abiding British citizens are left at the back of the queue for housing, healthcare, and help.
None of these young men that come into our country should ever be allowed to be free to walk the streets. They're a danger to our country, and it's a sense of shame that I have that Tory and Labour governments are making our lives more dangerous.
If we can't control our borders, we can't protect our people. And if we can't protect our people, then we cease to be Britain at all. Well, once again, Sadiq Khan and his lefty cronies tell us that Notting Hill Carnival was a beautiful celebration of diversity. Really? Because to me it looks a lot more like Notting Hell, with stabbings, muggings, assaults, and even chainsaws for heaven's sake. Nothing says Family Day like bringing a chainsaw to a public event. This isn't exactly the version of multiculturalism I signed up for. Sadiq Khan was told earlier this year that London's Notting Hill Carnival is at risk of a Hillsborough-scale mass casualty event. Instead, he released this video on TikTok.
You must try some jerk chicken. And also don't forget to rep your country, whether it's by a football shirt, a flag, or colours, really important.
What about packing a stab vest too? You've got chaos on the streets, yet the political class say, oh no, Britain needs more of this. On day one of the Notting Hill Carnival, police had already racked up 140 arrests, and that's before the party even got started. By Monday, that number had exploded to 423. 2 people were left fighting for their lives after another stab fest. That's more arrests for assaults on police, carrying offensive weapons, and sexual assault. Yet Sadiq Khan calls it the best of our city. Last year, a mother was stabbed to death in front of her 3-year-old daughter at the Notting Hill Carnival. Her family have called it what it is, an unmanageable event. Unsafe, overcrowded, and dangerous. And they're right. That child will carry the memory of watching her poor, dying mother bleed out onto the street for the rest of her life. That's the reality of what this so-called cultural celebration has become. Oh yeah, there's a solution to this tragedy.
Women and girls who might feel sort of vulnerable in Carnival, unfortunately there are incidents of sexual assaults, can go and be supported in those areas.
Great, another safe space. The next time I get assaulted, I'll retreat to a grubby tent to recover. Thanks, Sadiq Khan. Meanwhile, our police, bless them, have been assaulted 32 times according to latest stats. But don't worry, Sadiq Khan will be tweeting about the joy and togetherness. Yeah, joy and togetherness in A&E. So let's not sugarcoat it anymore. The Notting Hill Carnival isn't Britain at its best. It's Britain at its most dangerous. Not to mention that it is costing the taxpayer over £6 million a year. It's a stain on our capital city. And Sadiq Khan, he owns this. He presided over knife crime, chaos and lawlessness, and every single stabbing at this year's Notting Hell should be pinned squarely on his failure. The truth is simple. If this level of violence erupted at Glastonbury, Henley or Wimbledon, it would be cancelled tomorrow.